Disappear for 30 days and watch how quickly the world teaches you who truly values your presence. Because the moment you stop being available to everyone, you begin becoming available to yourself. Most people are terrified of disappearing, not physically, emotionally, socially, digitally. They fear silence because silence forces them to meet the version of themselves they've been running from for years, so they keep posting, keep replying, keep explaining themselves, keep chasing validation from people who barely notice when they're gone. But one day, exhaustion changes something inside you. You realize you've been living like a background character in your own life, always reachable, always reacting, always giving pieces of your energy away until there's barely anything left for yourself. And the painful truth is, the world rewards your availability, but rarely respects your absence. So imagine this. No unnecessary texts, no chasing, no constant updates about your life, no proving your worth. Just 30 days of silence, discipline, focus, and distance. At first, people may misunderstand you. Some will think you're arrogant, others will forget you completely. But then something strange begins to happen. The noise fades. Your mind becomes sharper. Your emotions settle. You start seeing people clearly for the first time. And suddenly, the same people who ignored your presence become disturbed by your absence. Because absence has a power that constant availability never will. And by the end of these 30 days, you may not recognize the person you used to be. Part 1. The world gets addicted to your availability. There's a silent tragedy happening in modern life. People are slowly losing themselves trying to stay connected to everyone else. Every notification becomes a leash. Every message becomes an obligation. And without realizing it, most people spend their entire lives emotionally on call for others. Think about it. The moment your phone vibrates, your attention disappears. Your peace gets interrupted. Your mind leaves the present moment and enters somebody else's world. And after years of this habit, something dangerous happens. You stop belonging to yourself. The ancient philosopher Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions." But today, many people have reduced their ambitions to being noticed online. They crave replies more than purpose, attention more than inner peace. And the terrifying part is, the world quietly trains you to believe this is normal. When you're always available, people unconsciously stop respecting your time. They assume you'll always answer, always help, always stay. Your presence becomes predictable. And predictable things are rarely valued deeply. It's like air. Nobody notices air until it's gone. That's why disappearing changes everything. Not because you're manipulating people, but because distance reveals truth. The people who genuinely care will reach for you. The people who only valued your convenience will slowly disappear themselves. But the biggest transformation isn't external, it's internal. For the first time in years, you begin hearing your own thoughts without interruption. You realize how much of your personality was shaped by reaction instead of intention. You stop performing, stop explaining, stop seeking approval, and suddenly, loneliness transforms into clarity. This is why philosophers like Carl Jung believed solitude was necessary for self-discovery. Jung warned that people who avoid silence spend their lives wearing masks created by society. Only in isolation can a person meet their authentic self. And maybe that's why so many people fear disappearing. Because once the noise is gone, there's nowhere left to hide. Part 2. Silence rebuilds. The person you were before the world distracted you. Most people think burnout comes from doing too much, but sometimes burnout comes from never disconnecting, from being emotionally available every second of the day, from carrying conversations, expectations, opinions, and invisible pressures that slowly poison your inner world. You wake up and immediately check your phone. Before your own thoughts even arrive, the world enters your mind. Messages, news, notifications, comparisons, drama, expectations, and without realizing it, your nervous system never truly rests. This is why disappearing for 30 days feels so uncomfortable in the beginning, because silence exposes addiction, not addiction to substances, addiction to stimulation, addiction to being seen, addiction to checking whether somebody remembered you. Modern life has conditioned people to fear being forgotten more than they fear losing themselves. But somewhere around the second week of disappearing, something shifts. Your mind becomes quieter. You stop reaching for your phone every few minutes. Your emotions stop reacting to every small thing. The anxiety that once controlled your mornings slowly weakens. And for the first time in years, your thoughts begin belonging to you again. This is where true confidence starts being born. Not from compliments, not from followers, not from attention, but from self-control. The philosopher Lao Tzu once said, "He who conquers others is strong, he who conquers himself is mighty." And disappearing teaches self-conquest in the purest way possible. Because during those quiet days, you begin noticing uncomfortable truths. You notice how often you chased people who never truly valued you. You notice how much energy you wasted trying to explain yourself. You notice how many friendships survived only because you kept maintaining them alone. And yes, it hurts. But pain that reveals truth is more valuable than comfort built on illusion. Imagine a muddy lake. As long as the water is constantly disturbed, you can never see clearly through it. But if the water becomes still, everything settles. The dirt falls to the bottom. Clarity appears naturally. That is exactly what solitude does to the human mind. Your thoughts settle. Your emotions settle. Your identity settles. And suddenly, you begin remembering the person you were before the world filled your head with noise. The dangerous part is this: once you experience that peace, ordinary chaos starts feeling unbearable. You become more protective of your energy, more selective with people, more aware of who drains you and who strengthens you. And this is where your disappearance stops being temporary, because you realize something profound. Not everyone deserves access to you. Part 3. Your absence reveals what your presence couldn't. There's a strange psychological truth about human nature. Familiarity often blinds people to value. The more accessible you become, the more people unconsciously assume you will always remain available. Your effort becomes expected instead of appreciated. Your kindness becomes routine instead of meaningful. But disappearance interrupts that illusion. At first, most people won't react immediately. Days pass, silence grows, and many continue living as if nothing changed. That part hurts more than most people admit, because deep down, everyone wants to believe their absence would shake the world. But this is the hidden lesson. Disappearing is not about making people miss you. It's about seeing clearly who notices you without being reminded, and eventually, reactions begin. Some people suddenly text you after weeks of silence, not because they deeply care, but because your absence disrupted their emotional routine. Others become curious, some even become irritated, because when you stop giving people constant access to your energy, it forces them to confront what they lost. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "Invisible threads are the strongest ties, and silence reveals those invisible threads better than words ever could, because words can lie. Attention can be faked." But consistent effort during absence reveals emotional truth. You start noticing who reaches out with genuine concern, and who only contacts you when they need something. You notice who respected your boundaries, and who became angry the moment you stopped being convenient for them. And perhaps the most painful realization is this: some people never loved you. They loved your availability. They loved having instant access to your attention, your comfort, your reassurance, your emotional labor. But once you disappeared, they didn't search for your soul. They searched for the service you provided. That realization changes you permanently, because now you stop confusing attention with connection. Modern society has created millions of people who are constantly surrounded by communication, yet emotionally starving for genuine understanding. They talk every day but rarely feel truly seen. And disappearing exposes the emptiness of many relationships that only survive through constant noise. But something else happens too. The right people begin respecting you more, not because you became colder, but because you became rarer, more grounded, less desperate for validation. Your energy changes. Your words become more intentional. Your presence becomes calmer and heavier, like someone who no longer needs approval to feel valuable. And ironically, the less you chase attention, the more magnetic you become. Because confidence has a quietness to it. The sun never announces itself before rising. A lion never needs permission to enter the jungle. And a person who truly knows their worth stops explaining their absence to everyone. That's the power of disappearing. It doesn't just change how others see you, it changes how you see yourself. Part 4. The person who returns. After 30 days is not the same person who left. After 30 days of silence, distance, discipline, and solitude, something unexpected happens. You begin realizing that the greatest change was never external, it was you. The version of yourself that constantly needed reassurance starts fading away. The desperate urge to check who texted you weakens. The emotional dependency on attention slowly dies, and in its place, something quieter begins growing. Inner stability. You stop measuring your worth by who notices you. You stop panicking when people pull away. You stop feeling responsible for maintaining every relationship, every conversation, every connection. Because now you understand something most people never learn. Peace is more valuable than popularity. The philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer believed that solitude is where a person escapes the madness of collective thinking. He wrote that most people are so trapped in social validation that they lose contact with their true nature. And maybe that's why modern life feels so exhausting. People are constantly performing versions of themselves they think others will approve of. But disappearance destroys performance. When nobody is watching, you discover who you really are. You begin building routines that are not designed to impress others. You start reading more, thinking more deeply, observing life differently. Your emotions stop controlling every decision. You become less reactive and more intentional. And strangely, your intuition sharpens. You notice manipulation faster. You notice fake energy immediately. You notice how desperately society rewards noise while ignoring depth. The old version of you wanted to be accepted by everyone. The new version understands that being deeply understood by a few people is infinitely more meaningful. This transformation is subtle at first, but over time, it changes your entire future. Because once a person experiences genuine inner peace, they become dangerous to systems built on insecurity. Advertisements lose power over them. Toxic relationships lose power over them. Social pressure loses power over them. Why? Because they no longer need constant external approval to survive emotionally. And that kind of freedom is rare, very rare. Most people spend their entire lives trapped in invisible prisons built from other people's opinions. They become addicted to applause, terrified of rejection, unable to sit alone with themselves for even a few minutes. But you changed that. You disappeared. And in that silence, you found something the world cannot easily give back once it's discovered: yourself. So if you ever feel lost, overwhelmed, emotionally drained by the noise of modern life, maybe the answer is not to chase harder. Maybe the answer is to step away, to disappear long enough for your soul to breathe again. Because sometimes the strongest move a person can make is silence. And sometimes the greatest comeback begins with complete disappearance. So ask yourself honestly, if you disappeared for 30 days today, who would truly search for you? Who would notice? And more importantly, who would you become in that silence? Maybe the real reason you fear disappearing is because deep down, you already know the person waiting on the other side of solitude is stronger than the one you are now. If this video spoke to something deep inside you, leave a comment with the word rebirth and subscribe for more cinematic explorations into psychology, philosophy, human nature, and the hidden truths modern life tries to distract us from.